Did you know? Dynasty Warriors started as a one-on-one fighting game like Soul Calibur. Series creator Hisashi Koinuma stated in an interview with Polygon.com that he wanted to make a fighting game and knew that if he joined a company that actually developed fighting games, he would have a lot of rivals within the company, and instead chose to join Koei, who at the time mainly focused on strategy games such as Romance of the Three Kingdoms and Nobunaga's Ambition. His plan worked, and within 2 years he was a lead programmer on Sengoku Musou, or Three Kingdoms Unrivaled, released as Dynasty Warriors in the West. With the dawn of the PlayStation 2, the team wanted to make Dynasty Warriors stand out in the fighting game boom going on at the time. Their solution? Shift the gameplay to more of a battlefield scenario, leading to the hack and slash series we have today. To differentiate the game from its predecessor, the word Shin, or True, was added to the front of the title, effectively starting a new series. The Western versions, however, released it as a direct sequel, Dynasty Warriors 2, likely for brand recognition as the Three Kingdoms era isn't as well known in the West as it is in the East, where it could be sold on the setting alone. As such, the Western releases have remained consistently at a higher number than the Eastern releases. The series is based on the real-life events of China's Three Kingdoms era in the 3rd century, with some elements from Luo Guangzhong's renowned historical novel, The Romance of the Three Kingdoms, incorporated to add flavour. Despite being based mostly on historical events, some characters are actually completely fictional. Zhurong is a fictional character from the novel, Guansua and Bao Sanyang are thought to be fictional figures from folklore, Kunoichi is a representation of the Sanada 10 Braves, and Xing Tsai is based on both of Zhang Fei's historical daughters. Although focused on the Three Kingdoms of Wu, Shu and Wei, the series also features a number of characters not from any of these three factions, most notably the mighty warrior Lu Bu. Fans were disappointed by these characters not being playable in the story mode, and so Dynasty Warriors 3 was given a re-release giving fans just that. Known as Moshoden in Japan, or Extreme Legends in the West, these expansions have remained a regular part of the series ever since, with only Dynasty Warriors 6 not receiving one. In fact, when planning Dynasty Warriors 8's expansion, it was decided that Lu Bu would be designated the game's protagonist as a tribute to the original Extreme Legends. For both Dynasty Warriors 7 and 8, weekly Famitsu held polls asking fans which historical figures they most wanted to see in future titles. The winners were Cao Cao's strategist Guo Jia and Lu Bu's strategist Chen Gong respectively. Both characters were given concept art showing how they might look, before being added in their respective game's Extreme Legends expansion. After the release of Dynasty Warriors 3 Extreme Legends, Koinuma wanted to create an action equivalent of Nobunaga's Ambition, in much the same way that Dynasty Warriors is the action equivalent of Romance of the Three Kingdoms. He believed that this game could focus on the individual characters, as opposed to the larger factions of Dynasty Warriors. This led to the 2004 release of Sengoku Musou, or Samurai Warriors, which has since become its own series, with a 4th installment released in 2014 to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the first installment. Speaking of anniversaries, to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the franchise as a whole, Koei decided to create one final Warriors game on the PS2 before moving on to the newly released PlayStation 3. They opted to make a game that fans had been pining for ever since the release of Samurai Warriors, a true encounter between Dynasty and Samurai. The result? 2007's Musou Orochi, or Warriors Orochi. The game features the full cast of Dynasty Warriors 5 and Samurai Warriors 2, along with newcomers Orochi and Daji. The game proved successful enough to warrant a sequel, Musou Orochi Mao Siren, or Unrivaled Orochi Rebirth of the Demon Lord, released in the West as Warriors Orochi 2 the following year. Another sequel was released following Dynasty Warriors 7 and Samurai Warriors 3, titled Musou Orochi 2 in the East and Warriors Orochi 3 in the West, creating yet another difference in numbers between the two releases. The upcoming Hyrule Warriors is not the first time a Warriors game has been made based on an established IP. In 2007, Bandai Namco were looking for a new genre for Gundam games, and upon seeing the popularity of the Warriors franchise, contracted Koei to put their own spin on the setting. While Koei sought supervision, Bandai wanted Koei to make a true Warriors game with little deviation from the formula, leading to the release of Gundam Musou, renamed to Dynasty Warriors Gundam in the West. Gundam was the first Omega Force game made for the 7th generation of consoles, and proved popular enough to warrant 3 sequels. This was followed 3 years later with Hokuto Musou, released as Fist of the North Star Ken's Rage in the West. The game featured a more realistic feel than the source material, along with additional original scenarios. This being Koei, there was of course a sequel. Shin Hokuto Musou was released in December 2012 to celebrate Fist of the North Star's 30th anniversary. The Shin in the title was intended to denote the game's attempt to remain truer to the source material than the original game had. This was lost in translation when the game was released in the West a month and a half later, under the name Fist of the North Star Ken's Rage 2. Fortunately, the third collaboration project had no such inconsistencies with its numbering. March 2012 saw the release of One Piece Kaizoku Musou, or One Piece Unrivaled Pirates, with the Western release of One Piece Hyrule Warriors 6 months later. The game was originally titled One Piece Musou until One Piece creator Eiichiro Oda changed the name himself. Oda said in his commentary in Weekly Shonen Jump that he was so blown away by the quality of the character models, he actually declined the development team's request to illustrate the game's cover, believing that the character models were enough to showcase the game. Dragon Ball is also said to have been considered before One Piece was ultimately chosen. As is to be expected, the series is not without its imitators. While there have been moderate successes with 99 Nights and Genji, the most successful by far is Capcom's Sengoku Basara, released 1 year after the original Samurai Warriors. Basara was created to be Samurai Warriors with a Devil May Cry flair, or as it's more commonly known, Samurai Warriors on crack. Many characterizations have been viewed as tributes or jabs at the other series. Masamune Date has developed a rivalry with Yukimura Sanada in Warriors, a likely reference to their rivalry in Basara. Basara's depiction of Kanetsugu Naoe is a joke character who can be defeated by a single hit, while his Warriors counterpart is something of a secondary mascot in Samurai Warriors 2. Masamune and Keiji's blind devotion to the Serpent King Orochi in Warriors Orochi has been viewed as a jab at Basara, where the two are mascots alongside Yukimura. Strangely, both series feature Yukimura Sanada as a mascot, and both versions of Yukimura are currently voiced in English by Johnny Young Bosch.
Thank you, Kunoichi. You were wonderful. And Lady Kai, you were truly magnificent.
I hear him. And his spirit is within me. The spirit of Shingen Takeda!
This has also occurred with Vic Mignogna as Mitsuhide Akechi.
I had faith that Lord Nobunaga would bring peace. That is what kept me going. That is how I justified the bloodshed.
Ah, I see. It's been a long time, Oichi. Remember me.
That's all for today, but don't forget to subscribe to Did You Know Gaming and follow Did You Know Gaming on Facebook and Twitter. Make sure you also check out didyouknowgaming.com, and if you like this video, check out their official videos as well. And hey, if you're looking for more Warriors goodness, why not check out my list of the top 11 Warriors games I want to see, or my complete Let's Play of Dynasty Warriors 6 Empires with my brother Reese. It's good.